Sadnam Namaste. So watching the global events at this time, it's normal to feel disillusioned. It's normal to feel in despair. It's normal to feel hopeless, right? And disappointed with how things are unfolding in the world at this time, with all the corruption and the lies and the abuse of power, the destruction and the violence and the disharmony. Especially in the context of this great promise, the promise of the Age of Aquarius, where we as a humanity come together from our hearts. So I want to address one particular state of consciousness, which is disillusionment. Now, I recently spent some time in a city, a metropolis, over 4 million people, and cities are not my favorite places to be, but the divine placed me there for a week for a reason, to have an experience, and maybe it's to share with you who's watching. So I was there, my energy was low, I was dealing with an internal infection, so I needed medical attention, and I could feel my consciousness lowering, and I began to see people being very unkind to one another, uncaring. I saw egos clashing with one another, and I couldn't see the light anywhere. It was a very odd state of consciousness for me to be in, and it was going negative, right? It was getting negative. So at one point, I had pulled over, I was driving, and I just closed my eyes and I prayed. I prayed to the divine, I prayed to God to please show me the truth in this situation, because my ego was so close to wanting to take over, wanting to do unto them as they're doing to you, right? Be just as mean to them as they're being mean to you. Screw them, escape, get out of here as fast as you can, right? So that temptation was there. So I prayed, and then with the snap of a finger, the whole information download came to me, which was these people that are surrounded, right, that you're surrounded by, are in great pain, and they're suppressing this pain. So you're feeling their pain at a very deep level, and your mind is confused with how they're acting. They're acting from their ego. They're reacting from their ego to escape this pain. And then the second bit of information that came was you need to double down on your sadhana practice. Yes, you've done your morning sadhana, but sometimes that's not enough. So I did a second meditation, and as soon as I was in the middle of that meditation, I felt my heart again. I felt how upset my heart was by seeing cruelty with my fellow man, right? Because when we see this, when we see people being cruel to one another, we feel it. We're not exempt from it. It's not about them doing something to someone else. It's like it's being done to you, right? This is our self-censory system awakening. And my ego just wanted to escape from that pain. So I felt the pain at a very, very deep level, right? Released it. And then I could feel my consciousness begin to rise again as I began to see the truth, as I began to see reality again. So when we get into these states of disillusionment, we can begin to believe the ego that tells us that the darkness is winning. The darkness is overtaking the light, right? To lose your faith. Let go of your faith. Let go of your faith in the divine. right? If you can't beat him, join him. So is this the truth? No. The darkness is not overtaking the light. It's like when you have your laptop, right? And you unplug it and you're on battery power. At some point you have to replug it back in, right? To recharge your computer so that you can continue to use it. Well, this is like the darkness. The darkness has been unplugged. This consciousness of the Piscean age has been unplugged. And right now it's only on battery power, which is very limited, right? And when that consciousness tries to plug back in, there's nothing to plug back in again. It's dying. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this old consciousness dying, and it's not dying without a fight. But just know that it has no power. It has no power over you. It has no power over the light. It has no power over love. It's just a matter of time. So what are we? What is our job during this time of great turmoil? So we become the holy witness of this consciousness dying in the world. And we do this not with a closed heart, right? Not without compassion for our fellow man. So this means that we witness, but not from a numb place. We witness from a neutral place. Remember, the neutral mind is connected to the heart, right? So we keep our hearts open. And so this is a time to focus on the light. The light is here. The light exists, right? The light is real. And it's in every situation, except when our consciousness lowers, like my personal experience, we can't see it, right? We can't see it. When we're not in our own light, we can't see light on the external, right? That's spiritual law. So, if you're surrounded by darkness, you be the light. If you're surrounded by cruelty, you be kind. If you're surrounded by fear, you be love. And do not underestimate how this affects your fellow humans on this planet. Just by the power of your presence, living in truth, right? That spark within them can be rekindled so that they can remember their divinity, that they remember that they're not victims, that they remember that they're spiritual beings having human experiences. So when you're feeling overwhelmed by life, this is the time to stop. This is the time to breathe. It's time to go inside. When you're feeling disillusioned, it's the universe calling you to go inside yourself and ask for divine guidance. If you're in a very, very negative state of mind, that's not where you want to be. It's not the truth of who you are. So ask for divine guidance. It will come. The truth of what you are perceiving will come. The second thing is use the technology. And sometimes we need more than just our morning meditation. Sometimes we need that extra boost. Because remember, in the Aquarian Age, it's about self-responsibility. So you are responsible for your own state of consciousness. And you can shift it. And you alone can shift this. Someone else cannot do this work for you. So we are blessed to have the technology that we can do it very quickly, in as little as 3 minutes. So your work is to walk this planet vibrating peace, love, and harmony. Your work is to be the embodiment of truth. Your work is to be the living example of truth. And this means to be living by your soul and not your ego. So it's no easy task that the divine has asked each one of us to do. But remember that you're doing this not only for yourself, but you're doing it for the rest of humanity. And there are no saviors. There's no savior going to parachute from the sky and come and save you. You have to save yourself. And you do this by calling on yourself. Continually calling on yourself. Not your ego, your higher self. This is what's going to give you the strength to move through these times of great turmoil. We're in the thick of it. We're in the middle of it. And now is the time not to give up. It's like we've been running a marathon for thousands of years, through many, many lifetimes, sometimes millions of lifetimes, to get where we are today. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to find your strength. And this means to surrender, completely surrender into the higher self. So here is a Kundalini Yoga meditation when you're feeling that, when you're just in the middle of that despair and the disillusionment and you're having the negative judgment towards humanity. You're thinking this is all BS, right? This whole Aquarian Age is all a big lie. The earth is going to blow up. We're going to destroy each other. You know, the ego tape loop. This is a meditation that will restore your faith. It will bring your faith back. Okay, so please practice this. And please share this message and meditation with others in your life that need some support through this times of disillusionment and despair. And please leave your comments below how you're doing during this time, and any suggestions you have to help other people too, like share your wisdom. Okay, Sat Nam everyone. Bye-bye.